Now, I'm Pastor Mike Van Boom, and I'm a pastor in the Reformed tradition, so we're Calvinists, and I pastor a church in St. Albert now, but I've lived in Macaulay, which is our inner city neighborhood, for 12 years. And so been part of all kinds of conversations and seen a lot of change. And let me tell you, my neighborhood is really, really hurting right now. And we see such a flood of people on the street. It is heartbreaking. It's so discouraging. And it's part of why this is part of why I'm here, because it's like, this is not okay, and we can do better, we must do better. Okay? But we chose our slogan, Alberta Cares, as for this whole movement, because it's real. We do care. For decades, we as Alberta neighbors have donated countless millions of dollars to emergency shelters and to help neighbors with rent. We have spent millions of hours preparing and serving food at soup kitchens, billions of pounds of food to food banks, clothes and furniture to help get people started. We donated our time and our skills year after year in an effort to improve the lives of our neighbor. But year after year, after decades, we seem to keep seeing the same crisis unfold around us in homelessness. We have the same shelters and soup kitchens, mats on the floor, people shuffling along on the street for 16 hours a day, in the cold or in the heat. At last year's Homeless Memorial, they estimated that there had been over 450 deaths to exposure in the previous 3 years. Shame. Absolutely. And what are our homeless numbers today? We're seeing a major spike. In 2021, we had 1,727 people that were unhoused. In 2023, we have 2,815. More than 1,000 more people. 57% of those identify as Indigenous. It is hitting their community hard. Since 2009, which was the start of Edmonton's 10-year plan to end homelessness, Edmonton has done some good work. They have housed 15,000 people through Housing First. And that's amazing. But helping people stay housed over the long term has been hard. Not everyone stays on their feet. And many years ago already, the city recognized that so many people on the street were far too sick for a Housing First approach. They needed permanent supportive housing, long-term care. And Kathy is going to talk about a little bit more about that shortly. But the housing crisis is not just about homelessness, it is all around us. Rents keep going up, while wages stay roughly the same year after year after year. They get a little nudge sometimes. But students feel the pressure. People with disabilities feel the pressure. Newcomers to Canada feel it. Indigenous families feel it. Seniors feel it. Any person who's working a lower income job feels it. Single parent families feel it. This year, lineups at the food banks are longer than ever, and people who were formerly able to donate are in line now themselves. Now, whose job is it to fix this? I don't have enough fingers to cover all of us here, because this is not just a government thing. It is an all of us working together type of thing. Okay? We as families need to be part of this. As faith communities need to be part of this. As neighbors. It's an all of us type of thing. There are many things we can and are doing to help each other. But at the same time, our governments have the strongest tools to get the job done. In Alberta, where our provincial government is where some of the most important decisions are made, where powers are allocated, policies made, they decide where to invest, they look at province-wide dynamics, not just in the big cities. Now, I'm going to be a little honest with you. I don't have a lot of trust in our governments at any level to really get the job done. Watching Question Period either in Ottawa or in our legislature here makes me feel dead inside. Can anyone resonate with that? It's so painful. It seems that some of the biggest barriers we have to any sort of effective long-term plan is the total war that we see unfolding between political parties that cannot collaborate. This past year, we saw a table drafting the province's approach to mental health and addictions. Really important work. That table fell apart, right? The posturing and the endless ideological squabbles are the enemies of wisdom. And what do we end up with? One government puts forward a plan based on their philosophy of how things get done, and then the next government comes in and it's upended. We try something else, run in a different direction. And sometimes we see that change even happen in the same government. They change a minister, the new person wants to make their mark on things, they unravel all the work that the previous has done. It is just painful.
What a waste.
It is a waste of time, it is a waste of money, it is a waste of energy, and we expect better. Can they do better?
Yes.
My hope is not high. I do have people tell me sometimes, you should just give up trying to get our governments to lead the way in fixing this. It's not going to happen. We should just give up. But I think we can demand better from our political leaders. We, the people, can't fix things ourselves. And the government can't fix it either. This will take all of us working together. And we are here to say that this matters, and we're ready to put in the work. We want a new legislature to show us that this matters to them. We need a strong, wise, and well-resourced long-term plan to address housing and homelessness. And that will not happen unless our political leaders, and all of us too, can sit down together and work on effective solutions. It requires patience and reflection and courage, and then it requires passion to see things get done wisely and well. That is what we're here asking for. I'm going to introduce my